Hi there folks, Borislav247 here with another Days Gone mission video, and on this video I'm going to show you all the best and easiest methods in order to take out the mission called Drifters at Eden Hill. Now I have to say folks, this is one of my favourite side missions that you can get in this game because I just love the location where this takes place. Gives you so many options. Now before I get to the action, just a couple of things I want to point out. The first is that I am taking on this particular mission on Survivor 2. So this is really as difficult as it's ever going to get. And the second thing I wanted to point out is that I will only be using weapons on this video that you would most likely have available to you at the time when taking on this mission. So without any further ado, let's get right to it. Okay, as always, before you can actually take on these missions, you've got to be assigned them. And this particular one is given to you by Ricky at Lost Lake.
Deke, a group of men rode in, shot up the gate, and when we wouldn't let them in, they rode off.
Ah, shit. Which direction?
They headed west, but they didn't go far. They set up camp just north of Eden Hill. I think they might be planning another attack, so I need you to take a look.
Okay, right. Yeah, I'll handle it.
Thanks, Deke.
Okay, now that I've got the job, let's see exactly whereabouts it is. And this one is a very quick mission to get to indeed. Now before I get to the action, just one final thing to show, because this is very relevant to the first method that I show in this video. And it's all to do with the M40. As you can see there, I have a very limited amount of ammo that this bad boy at the moment can carry. However, if you go into the skills and you have the ability to unlock the up the ante skill, all of a sudden, all of your ranged weapons will now have extra ammo capacity. And truth be told, it doesn't make that much of a difference to the sidearm or the primary for me here because I'm using an SMP9 and an MWS, but the sniper rifle is a different story. Now I have basically double the amount in terms of ammo capacity, so taking out this camp now is going to be a far easier affair. Right then, on to the first method, and this is going to be the sniper rifle option. Now I only have an M40, but I will make this work. Very important to show whereabouts I am on the map before starting the attack, because a lot of these methods do come from different areas around this camp. So this particular attack is going to come from the west side of this camp. And I'm just making sure to get the suppressor on. Now the beauty of this particular spot is that over half of the marauders in this camp are accessible very quickly from this one spot. Now over there by them rocks there is usually a marauder, but he's not over there yet. It's not a problem though, there is another one over there which I've just taken care of. I always like to get rid of these two first, and yep, here he comes. Now the next three, there is two over by the vehicle over there, but there's another one just right below me. And I'm just going to let them walk into the shot there. Now these ones over here, you do have to be careful of, because they can sometimes spot you if you get a little bit too adventurous and go a little bit too near the cliff edge. So at this point, I've taken out 5 of them, only 3 left. And I'll be perfectly honest, the last 3 I generally tend to wing it depending on what is going on in and around the camp. In this case, there's freakers that are coming into play, so I may get the chance to take out all the marauders from this position. And I can't stress this enough, because I'm using an M40 and it's on Survivor 2, these shots have to be headshots in order to be effective. And I'm very lucky here that they all seem to be coming into my range, because if they were far enough away, I'd simply start moving a little bit closer to the other side of the camp in order to get some clear shots. But on this particular run, not necessary. If you want a good sniper rifle area in which to get the job done, I recommend that one wholeheartedly. On to the next method, folks. Right then, on to method number 2, and this involves the use of incendiary bolts. Now, the attack is actually going to come from the southwest of the camp area, and there is another fantastic spot that I'm going to show you all in order to start this attack from. So, first thing that I want to stress, and I've even brought it up on screen so I don't forget to mention it, if you're playing on Survivor 2 difficulty, you need to have the knocked up skill in place in order for these incendiary bolts to be effective. On lower difficulty levels, you may get away with one shot every time like what I'm going to be doing, but trust me, on Survivor 2, if you do not have that knocked up skill in place, it will take at least 2 of these bolts every time to kill a Marauder or Ripper. So anyhow, this is the area that I'm going to do all the damage from, and the thing I love about these incendiary bolts is they are actually so easy to aim with, because you're not aiming for the head in particular. You do have a big area every time. You're just trying to hit any part of the Marauder or Ripper, and even from long range. Look at this. That was a bit of a risky one, that third shot, but I got away with it. And truth be told, I never used to use incendiary bolts like these until I seen a gent's YouTube channel. His name is Daryl, and he was showing using these very effectively, which gave me the idea to basically implement these on pretty much any of the videos now where I have the use of incendiary bolts. And for me, that is pretty much as soon as I reach Lost Lake, because once I get to Lost Lake, I'm always looking to unlock the ambush camps that are there, and that basically unlocks the incendiary bolts for you to use. So at this point, I'm just looking to see if there's any more that I can get to with these incendiary bolts without having to leave this area. And that was a risky as hell shot as well, but just want to show that how accurate this bloody thing is. The only thing that you have to worry about with the bolts, whether it be incendiary or residue bolts, is drop off, but you can fire them a surprisingly long way before the drop off takes effect. So I'm just moving a little bit closer now, because these two were a tad difficult to get a line of sight on, but certainly not now. And my job now is pretty much done. There we go. It's a fantastic way of taking out any of these camps if you have the luxury of incendiary bolts. On to the next method, folks. Right then, on to method number 3, and this involves one of my all-time favourite methods of taking out any camps, and it's through the use of residue bolts. Now, as you can see on screen here from the map, I am starting again from the same spot as what I did for the last method involving incendiary bolts, purely because this particular spot gives you your highest vantage point. And residue bolts, as you can see, it's just cedar sapling, nest residue and scrap. And as you can see, I am freaking loaded in terms of how many I can use, but always make sure that these bad boys are armed. So, now that I'm ready to rock and roll, I have 3 very specific targets in order to get the action going. And it is basically, the first 2 Marauders are the 2 furthest away ones. They're basically either side of the camp. So, the first one is right up here. I want to make sure that the action is going pretty strong on all sides. So, that's the first one. Not the easiest of shots, but again, like with the incendiary bolts, they do travel a long way before they drop off, so I generally tend to aim reasonably high, and I am going to actually use a little bit of focus there just to make sure. You can see the drop off just starting to come into play, and would you Adam and Eve it, the flippin' easiest shot of the lot is the one that I missed. However, never mind, I'm going to remedy this right now. Yeah, do you know what, let's just see how the action goes from here. And already, look at this. That's half the camp going, and I still have 3 Marauders under the influence. Oh my god, this is going to be a quick job indeed. Again, folks, it's just by the selection of the Marauders that makes this so effective. Because all I'm waiting for now is, there's one left there. Now, I could end this video very quickly by just basically taking out the sniper rifle here and taking this one out. but I just want to show that once a marauder is under the influence of a residue bolt, they will eventually die. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be a hero, go flipping diving in. At this point, I could actually use the bushes behind me for extra cover so that I'm not seen by anything, even freakers, because you do get a lot of freaker action around this particular area. But right now, it's just waiting for the residue bolt to actually kill this marauder over here. Doesn't matter how far he goes, he is going to get it eventually.
Okay, I think that's all of them.
And there we go. Very nice. That is the residue bolts method done and dusted. Okay, on to the next method. Right then, folks, on to method number 4, and this is the Horde option. Now, the attack is going to come from the northeast, and the Horde in question that is going to decimate this poor little lot is going to be the Westford Horde. Now, the Westford Horde is 75 strong, and the beauty of this Horde is that as soon as you reach Lost Lake, this Horde is unlocked. Because there are, I think there's about 3 Hordes when you first get to Lost Lake that are locked until you have done certain missions. Thankfully, this is not one of them. So, in order to get the action started, I'm just going to head up here, and I could use a flashbang, but I'd rather hold on to them. I'm just going to fire a few shots into the cave just to get this Horde's attention. And basically, once I've got a decent amount of numbers, I will basically hot foot back to the bike, because I do want the use of the bike for getting this job done. It's just a very handy and effective way of getting through the camp very quickly once the action gets going. So, yep, I've most definitely got the numbers. I am just going to double back on myself a bit here, just to try and get them a bit more bunched. And that, whoa, that was a close one. Never mind, here we go. Already I can hear and see shots being fired from the camp, so this is fantastic. They're already onto my case in terms of what's coming, and by God, this lot ain't going to last long. So at this point, that is fantastic. I'm just looking to get out of the camp as quickly as possible, and I want to head up over onto the highest point in order to just watch the action, as well as taking out a sign just for the hell of it. But yeah, over here will do nicely, and yeah, I just want to get a good view of what's going on, or basically what's left of this lot. As you can see, just look at this. This lot do not mess around. I barely got to see any of that action, but there we go. That is a fantastic Horde option, should you wish to use it. Right then, on to the final method, and I simply like to call this Death from Within, because I basically get right into the camp before the action starts. And again, it is another different attacking area that I'm coming from. Basically, I'm coming from the east in order to take this lot out. Now, this one is a very unusual one because of the fact I'm actually going to be going through most of the water before getting to the camp. This is actually a very nice and effective way of taking out the camp, and I am going to have the help of an MWS and the M40 sniper rifle. The sniper rifle will not need to be used too much at all, just for the long range shots. The MWS, very nice just for easy short range kills. But at this point, this is how I'm going to get into this camp. And the beauty of starting like this is basically you can take out a lot of the, once the action gets going, I should say, you can take out a lot of the marauders very quickly. But it does start slow, because I do like to have certain marauders in certain positions before taking them out. This one, for example, that's walking up right here, if you take him out when he's too close to the other 2 marauders over by that vehicle over there, then you can alert them. But by making sure he comes over far enough, it's not a problem. And this one, yep, thank you very much. So at this point now, I've got a reasonably safe passage now to get right into the heart of this camp. But that one up there, if I can get a shot in, yeah, thank you very much. So from here, again, Another quick couple of looks, just to make sure that I'm not going to be seen here, and these two now are going to get it with stealth. Quick dive roll here, just to make sure that I get to the right area, and nice. Now, something's going on in this camp, but it's nothing to do with me. It's probably, again, going to be freakers, and oh, Merry Christmas.
How many you got left?
Always helps when they make things so easy for you. Because usually the last part of this particular run is just winging it, quite literally, just going around looking for the last marauders, and there we go, job done. And that is Drifters at Eden's Hill well and truly taken care of. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you all enjoyed it, folks. Take care.